Hello everyone and welcome back to Jenga Fortress TV. We've got some tower building going on as we can see in the pre-game, but that's not all that we're here for today. We've got Prem playoffs. It's the upper bracket final. TLR taking on MANDEM. Joining me, we're going to have J-Max on production once again, back from the couple of hours break since the previous game. And we've got Danny joining me for the cast. How are you doing, Danny? Are you enjoying this tower?
Yeah, I've been observing them quietly as they've kept stacking people on top of it. There's actually going to be a Pudus trying to get up there as well. I've been watching this tower being built since there was only 3 people on it, and now we're here. Look at them. As I think they're actually going to just kill each other now, and the tower's gone.
Oh, fun is over. It's time when you got friendlies in pubs, right? Eventually it's always going to end. Someone's going to shoot and that's going to be it. And fun over for everyone. And yep, there we have it.
And there's no more point.
That's it. The pre-game ritual is over, and we can begin our pre-game ritual of talking about the game that's coming up. So yeah, TLR against MANDEM. MANDEM back-to-back top finishers in league play. Last time, we say politely, they bottled it a little bit in playoffs. This time,
Yeah.
hoping to rectify that a little bit. But what do you think about looking at MANDEM coming into this? Right, they've obviously changed their roster a little bit since last time. Do you think they've got what it takes?
Well, look, I think it's tricky because this is the one team that MANDEM lost to in the regular season. If you asked me like a season ago, I would have said that MANDEM were not quite at Witness's level, but they definitely look like they were a step above just like all the other teams in Prem. But then they lose to Forfence in the upper bracket final last season. They finish in 3rd place. They swap out KN for Lardox, and they've actually dropped a fair amount of points throughout the season, and they've looked beatable for sure. They haven't looked. They're going to be the first seed, but they haven't looked super dominant. They've definitely looked very vulnerable. They've dropped points to even 3.5 stars, who are actually bottom of the table. And like I said, TLR is the one team that they did lose 6 points to. So, I mean, if MANDEM aren't careful, that could be repeated right here. And for TLR, all that they've got to be thinking is, boys, we've done this before. All we have to do is we got to do it again. And if they can keep that mentality, if they can do what they did last time, MANDEM, they could be looking at disappointment again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll spin over around either side. Look at TLR for a moment. They came into this season as actually, if Witness were going to play this season before they backed out, TLR would have had to go through the qualifiers. They didn't make playoffs last season. Would have had to qualify this time and play 3.5 stars in that qualifier match. And despite that, they're actually 2nd place in the league, tied on points with the Germans, but winning that crucial game against them earlier in the season means that they get ahead on the tiebreakers, and now they're top 3. They're guaranteed worst case that for both of these teams is they get a podium finish, so it's a big improvement from what you got last time.
Yeah, I mean, and even for MANDEM, the spoils from last season, it was for Fence, and they've actually been eliminated earlier today by the hands of the Germans, so they'll be in 4th place. It's now going to be down to 3 teams. And I think in terms of the playoffs in general, I mean, these are the 4 teams that we would have expected to make it through coming into the season. And throughout the season, this kind of 4-way battle at the top has kind of been forming, the storyline of MANDEM, TLR, the Germans for Fence, kind of battling battling it out between each other, and we're seeing that come to fruition beautifully in these playoffs. And I think whoever's going to be making the victory happen here tonight, I think they'll be very comfortable going in the grand final, because if you ask me, I think whoever loses tonight is still favored against the Germans, and we could be looking at a rematch in the finals.
Yeah, absolutely. But of course, winning this does mean you're guaranteed that top 2 spots. We can start talking a little bit about the maps we've got coming up. We're going to have Bagel first, then we're going to move into Metalworks, and then Process if required as our decider. So on Bagel, obviously it's a cost map. It's obviously going to be good for the scouts, but also perhaps more fun for the soldiers and demos as well as compared to something like Products. Is anyone that you're going to have a close eye on in this Bagel game who you think needs to step up and perform?
Or, I mean, for the side of TLR, if Matters and Ryan can perform the way that they have been, Hans has been amazing on this map. Pandemic on that Pocket Scout role has been so vital for them. It's interesting as well because we're going to be seeing Metalworks later in the series. That is one of the maps that TLR actually beat MANDEM on when they previously met. That was a 2-3 to the side of TLR. So it'll be interesting to see if TLR have managed to stay on top of their game, or if MANDEM have adapted and overcome the issues. But for now, it's just going to be Bagel we're going to be looking at as the teams are readying up, and we will be beginning shortly.
Yeah, here we go, upper bracket final. Going for one free pass into the top 2. We've got TLR in the red, MANDEM in the blue, as rollouts begin on this first round of Koth Bagel. See what they've got in store for us.
Sam's looking to be quite aggressive. It will be a soldier taking the left house already. I mean, TLR, they don't really have anyone playing on the extremities of the map quite yet. There will be Ryan going over there now, but both teams kind of respecting each other for now. You kind of want to wait for the point to become playable on this map before doing much of anything, and it looks like much of something will be happening now as TLR does get a lot more aggressive. That's Fancy going down in the middle of the point right there.
Yeah, point drops as well. TLR getting that cap up, and Ryan jumping in, getting lots of damage in onto Lardox. Pandemic going to fall though, going to be a long respawn on that Pocket Scout for TLR, but with spawners only just coming in now on the other side, on the blue side, it's going to be buying more and more time. It's already almost 30 seconds has ticked down on this clock, and they might be looking to use and trade across points to try and deny.
Yeah, I like that MANDEM didn't really stop pressuring there even after Fancy died, right? They kept looking for picks, they found Pandemic. Here comes a trade through the point now. It will be Baldur taking it in. It's actually going to be focusing Ryan in the house. He will go down. Lardox, that's a soldier down for either side for now, but looks like both teams will still be just kind of respecting each other a little bit. There is just a bit of a scuffle happening around the point as cap time does come in now finally for TLR as they do recap the point, but MANDEM, they're not going to be backing off at all. They want to keep up this back and forth. The point caps really quickly on this map as both of the flanks get really aggressive. It's Flick going to be caught off guard.
Nicky's in, Nicky's straight in on the medic onto June, does not quite land the final scattergun shot. June getting away with a life on 50 HP. Very, very lucky to be alive there. Nicky was one good meat shot away from getting that all-important medic kill as well. Yeah, it was so powerful, but Nicky not quite able to land the all-important shots. Now the point's going to flip back in either favour. TLR still sitting ahead on the point, sitting ahead on players currently, as well as the rollouts are still just about commencing on the MANDEM side. Uber charges back up again. Piggles still not quite having Uber either, so June with disadvantage. Never mind, my HUD was breaking, and June has Uber's exchange across either side. Piggles and Boulder running and taking out Ryan on the flank, but that seems like the only kill that's going to go. It's just going to be for the time on the red side, see if they can hang on for even longer.
Oh, but look what it let Lardox do. Because Ryan is dead, that house is completely open and he has a free bomb onto June. He will pick up that frag. Oh, that is the type of impact that these trades can have. You know, they open up little bits and pieces of the map that are free to be exploited. Lardox, great job by him finding that opening. That is a huge fight for MANDEM to come out on top of.
Yeah, absolutely, because you're looking at the time situation, right? They're already 30-odd seconds down. They could have been even worse if they'd have not managed to get the point back, or they'd lost more players there. But yeah, great plays from the soldiers of the MANDEM side. And now TLR decides to sack wave in, knowing it's a side they're getting straight in onto Piggles. They're going to lose 3 for it, though. Everyone else all the way back out. Flick going down for good measure as well to Boulder, but nice little impromptu sack wave there.
Yeah, they got what they wanted. They got what they needed out of that to get back into this. With the time pretty much equal, I mean, if you're TLR, you're pretty content with that. Maybe you would have liked a pick or more to go with that, but can't have it all in life. And they will make it out through lower right. They do have full ad. It's just about how Pandemic wants to use it now.
Yeah, it seems the moment they're just on the edge of the cap, get as much cap time as they can on the horn. Just going to want to jump in and try and get some form of force. They get into their health back. Pandemic being shut down and chased back. Ryan, on the other hand, though, is jumping all the way around and then getting air shot out by Lardox. And it seems like this pressure isn't really too great at all. Holt is distracted long enough for plenty more time. Lardox in as well. 2 rockets in.
Nicky's in on
30 HP the force.
Oof, just in the nick of time. That was so close. That could have gone wrong so badly. As the aggression from TLR. They'll catch Baldur right there. And while Piggles is alive, I mean, they can make this sticky. They can set up a forward hold. They can make MANDEM work for busting out of his forward hold right now. If they can just play their cards right, Piggles will have the full Uber advantage up, but again, they need to bust out through his forward hold. TLR, they're not giving up the space up for free at all. MANDEM, best case scenario, you don't want to use here, but here it comes. Remain Flick will likely be the first casualty. He's actually still alive. Just dancing in the back.
How is he living? How on earth is Flick still alive? Distracted so much of his Uber, and yes, they are still going to lose 2 for it, but it's now 50% advantage. Point cap only just coming through, and yeah, MANDEM ahead on the clock, but behind on the Ubers at about 50%, so going to be looking pretty decent for TLR. It's still anyone's game now. The time is uneven, the Uber charge are uneven. It's flipping and flopping back and forth between these two, but a forward hold set up now by the MANDEM side, trying to pincer in, try and repeat what TLR just did to them, and it looks like this time grass is going to be the name of the game as the TLR side march their way in. Zam's thinking about Going for some pressure across the point. Uber charge still not used and no real attempts to force it out either. Nichols has quietly got himself up to 80% Uber, so maybe they're happy to just chill and just take even cheaper.
Oh, TLR, we've got to be careful about these houses. They didn't check out all June. Oh my god, she does have to use. Would have created to fall damage. There was no pack available. But yeah, TLR, they were sloppy when pushing out. They didn't check the houses. Nikki and Hans, they were still in there that whole time. And now, even though they're 2 down, MANDEM, they're looking to get right back into this with their own full advantage now. They're not going to cut any slack. They're going to get right back into this. And they're actually slowing it down a little bit. They do want to spam out just a bit here. Zams towards the point is taking a little bit of damage, but it looks like they will cap without
17
having to
seconds
use
on
it
the
now.
clock, right? 17 seconds is all they have to hold it for MANDEM, and with Unicharge advantage as well, it's going to be so hard for TLR to stay in this. Unicharge used out eventually from the blue side as they charge and try and catch out this escaping flank. Pandemic goes down. Matters going to be lucky to get out as well as that health back in the house. Lardox jumping into triangle into Zams. There's people feeding us the point into the final 10 seconds, and there's still all 6 of the MANDEM players alive. Horns are jumping in as well. This could be the end of days unless there's a big play onto the point. Now June has the Uber in just a few more seconds, but nobody is able to get on the point in time, and June didn't quite build quickly enough. And yeah, there we have it, 1 round up, MANDEM.
Yeah, huge plays by the soldiers again. I mean, even Hans right there at the end, it took so long to kill him when he was jumping behind, actually costing valuable seconds when there's only, 5 seconds left on the clock. A soldier staying alive for 2 to 3 seconds longer than he needed to, that's a big play. And them killing the medic when he was pushing in on the flank, that's big plays from the MANDEM soldiers all around. And again, both teams kind of slowing it down at the beginning of the mid-fight, taking one house respectively.
So much spam. June's it a ton of spam behind the point, taking very, very weak. I wonder if that's going to be a target for some aggression, or if it's just going to mean that there has to be a bit more passive behind the point. But the rest of the team haven't got the memo. They're content to just sit forward, start pressuring again, just as they did in the previous mid, but not getting that all-important first kill that they got last time. Never mind, straight in onto Horns. That's 1 pick up, and that is point in the way of TLR.
Oof, no one was really in position to follow up on the damage that was done there on Pickles, on June rather. Both of the soldiers are not quite healthy. Lardox taking flying the houses. Hans wasn't really healthy, and now we're looking at a point in time where that could actually then be caught out of Guardian completely. Fancy's going down. There's all the frags actually going the way of Killer. They overstayed their welcome and they just got collapsed upon. No one really focusing the proper targets there at the end. Hans and Lardox just going to be left back there to their own devices. That will be no over advantage for either side for now, but again, MANDEM have to pressure out of his out of his forward hold, and there's already a minute down on the clock, right? I mean, this is a difficult position for them to be in. Hans trying to make some space here, maybe, perhaps. They haven't quite broken out just yet.
Trade. Yeah, trade's coming through now, deciding to burst in through main. Boulder straight in, but it's such a late use from June onto Pandemic, but everyone's getting charged back out. Boulder might be getting caught as well by Zam's. Not quite going to land the stickies required, but it's bought enough time. But the counter push now coming in the dry fight. Horns going to be taken down on the jump in. Zam's going to be the second one to go in. Instant combo goes for the shot onto Zam's, who's taking more damage. Somehow
He's
still
so
alive for
weak.
now. Still getting rocketed by Lara, so they really want this kill onto the Red Demo Man, but it's not going to come. But they might get the point though. They've pressured everyone back so far.
That'll be the first time they cap right there, actually, as Nikki comes to the rescue. He's going to be saving Lardox there in the houses. That is going to be Ryan going down, but again, both teams, they don't really have to do much right now. I mean, MANDEM, they want to keep prodding in these houses, looking for picks. They want to keep up the spam right now as TLR. They're kind of just licking their wounds as they're waiting for the respawner to come in. I'm pretty sure that we're going to be looking at another trade in a second, but there's actually a tiny bit of advantage. Zams goes down, so MANDEM will be able to recapture that point pretty much instantly if they don't take the trade, but it doesn't look like they will without Zams being there. It looks like they just want to aggress a bit with the soldiers. Lardox, again, aggressive on the houses. He's, doing so much damage, but no frags going his way just yet, as MANDEM will maintain control of the point for now.
Yeah, for now, and they're getting the clock slowly clawing it back. We saw that really long hold from TLR to start with, and now charging across shoulders. This is a trade coming in. Boulder taking this solo use, and June's going to have to flash around this beam quite a fair bit, but not quite far enough.
Ooh, careful, bro. Hans is behind. No one's checked for him. They just forgot about him, and he's going to pick up 2, make that free actually on June with the help of Lardox. He'll pick up Pandemic as well. That was great. That was a great play by MANDEM. They took that trade, and Hans was given so much space to just go behind. There should have been one guy keeping him in check, making sure that he can't come in, because that's exactly what happens if you don't keep track of these people going behind. And Hans, he's going to be doing his part and picking up a 4K right there for his team.
Yeah, absolutely great play from that soldier duo of MANDEM once more, really cleaning up the pieces after that Uber trade, even cleaning up some kills during the Uber trade as well. Fancy getting the Hinland on that 5
Oh,
onto
Pandemic
Pandemic,
dies.
losing the
That's
pocket
such a
scout on the
huge pick
push.
for him to find, but Fancy, oh, I don't think we're going to be too mad about it at this point. Flick finds the pick on the Fancy, and even though there is Uber advantage on the side of MANDEM, the demo being down does open up a lot of opportunities here for TLR. I think just straight capping the point might be risky considering how close Pickles is to Uber, but yeah, sending Saxon is definitely an alternative at this point.
Yeah, they're not
30%
quite
ad
going to get the
still.
cap, are they? They're not quite going to allow it, and yeah, Pickles and Boulder charging for us, but going to get onto Zams with the aforementioned Uber charge. June's still set at 80%, so it's going to be ad the other way now as times have actually flipped. MANDEM now for the first time in this round up on the clock just by a few seconds, but with the Uber charge
Oh,
potentially
Hans
coming in unless
again,
Horns
just
has something
from
to
in,
say
and no
about
one
it.
checks it from the side of TLR. They're all focused on the left side. No one even glances at main, and Hans just jumps over their heads, and June is to use. That was their way back into this round that just seemingly slipped through their fingers. TLR, they have a soldier pick, so they are probably looking at a recapture, but as soon as Hans is back at the front lines, this could just turn into a dry fight.
Yeah, I guess the one saving grace for TLR is the fact that their Uber charge disadvantage isn't that bad. Like they've been building quickly, and actually, never mind, they're going to bomb in regardless, sending fake stack wave, but everyone's getting nuked. Ryan's in behind, going to try and get in. Pandemic does the deed, finally gets onto Pickles. Boulder quietly just farming up all the other frags in the flank. Pandemic taken down by Haunts as well. Zams might be falling as well. Nope, able to get back into the health pack, and Cap's going to be coming through unless Flick is going to be a nasty surprise from the house. No, it seems very much aware. Nope, never mind. Jumping for the pack, does not get it. Flick is very happy with that one and holding on to the point. So TLR in the power position.
Yeah, TLR, they took the coin flip, they went for the dry fight, and they do come out on top, but no team with Uber advantage, so with 20 seconds left on the clock, there's going to be no time to get those Ubers up, so we're probably just looking at yet another dry fight, so it's just going to come down to who can find more value, who has the better focus fire, and it looks like the flank for MANDEM will be aggressive in the house first. There's going to be, Flick going down for Hans. Lardox picking up his fight in the house right there, so that's a player advantage for MANDEM now. The fight, it looks like the house are going to be maintained by MANDEM for now, as the cap does also go their way, but overtime secured for TLR. Have to be flawless now on the side of MANDEM. Rubens surely coming out soon. We're probably looking at another trade in a few moments here, as soon as June gets hers. As soon as that happens, we'll probably be looking at more chaos afterwards, as here does come the trade. June yet to use her Uber. Here it comes finally, much later, and Balder and Pickles, they're going to be out of it. They'll survive probably, but TLR establishing control of the point. They can't let this slip.
10 seconds.
As soon as they cap, there's overtime on it for TLR. They cap it just once, just 2 frags, and that was all that was needed for them. They pick up those 2, the rest of MANDEM can block in time, and they really just found more value after the trade.
Yeah, absolutely. There's almost something to be said, right? But when you're up on the clock by that like 40 seconds or so, like you get it to overtime, you can just give the point up and say rather than just like trying to fight it and scrap it around the point, you just give the point up, and then they're gonna have to stand and then block you later on, and it's almost easier to take it than it is to hold the point. So very nice play there from TLR. See if they're able to begin this third mid fight as they've started the previous 2, because their mids have been very, very good. They've been winning the picks, winning the pressure, and they've been going pretty aggressive again. Pandemic already playing up on towards the point, taking so much space, really not fearing. And neither is Zams either. Bold on either side, trying to deny as best as he can, but Haunts is the one to open the batting with a kill in onto Flick, and this could open the floodgates on the flank, and it does. It looks like Nicky and Haunts going absolutely massive. Haunts in as well into Pandemic. Never mind. Fancy wants to join the party as well into Pandemic, and just Zams and June alive all the way back. And that's the turnaround on mid-fights that MANDEM were looking for. 1 kill on the flank, and the gates just opened.
Yeah, TLR, they need to figure out their cohesion a bit more in the houses. I mean, it looked like Flick just got overrun there when Mattis went back for some reason, and then Mattis himself got 2v1 after he tried to salvage it. Lardox pushed on the other side, just pushed Ryan and found that frag. I mean, the trade is going to come out in the meanwhile here, as it will be Balder taking in. Neither team really looking way superior in it right now, as MANDEM will have to concede the forward hold for the time being, but Ryan actually does some decent damage in the house there to Hans. He will have to back off, as Balder does get found on all the kills. That's a big pick to get, as it looks like MANDEM are conceding a fair amount of space here. They are going to give up the cap as well. Hans still aggressive, but will be jumping out here, as it does look like we're just slowing down just a little bit.
Yeah, gotta wait for that spawner to come back in Bold. They can't instantly contest without the pocket scout, especially when Nicky is too busy trying to lock out that house, trying to help out the roamer and make sure that no funny business is happening on the flank. Keep everyone in check on either side as yet. Time is ticking down once more for TLR. Just still behind a little bit. It was a good first hold there from MANDEM, getting all those kills, pushing TLR.
We have to be
all the way back to
careful.
spawn,
There's an advantage of playing. They know it. And Pickles, oh my god, Zams just destroys her and Boulder. MANDEM, they disrespected that Uber advantage. And they got punished for
salvage.
it.
Big salvage in from Lardox to the horns. Great stuff. Nikki comes in and joins as well. And they are going to lose all their players for it, but that's all important. Now going to be the advantage over to the side of MANDEM and Piggles. But yeah, these bombs either side, these medics are on in a lot of danger a lot of this game.
Oh, that's how it should have happened right there. That looked so good for TLR. Zams did such a great job. He killed June, he killed Piggles and Baldur, but then the salvage bombs from Hans just picking up 2 frags. And now, even though they got caught off guard by Uber advantage, it looks like MANDEM will actually cap the point. Lardox does go down though, and Hans might get caught himself. Ooh, he's so weak. But he will survive for now. We're literally 1 health before picking up the health back.
Yeah, that means in the meantime that the point is flipped once more. TLR now back in control as times have equalised once again. These teams are just neck and neck. The times are just flip-flopping back and forth between them, and looks like now Uber Charge coming across. June does not have yet, going to have to back out all the way. Was at 95% when that trade came through.
It's only Flick that's dead though. They have more advantage.
Yeah, it's really worth it, right, for TLR backing all the way out as paid dividends, as now they're walking back in with full advantage. Can they hold on to it? Lardox hoping to make that a no gets killer for Zams, but June still happy to hold.
Yeah, great rockets there from Lardox. I mean, not Zams not being that. Oh my god, TLR, they're misplaying it. They're dropping both of their combo members. They got greedy trying to cap this for free, and yes, they'll cap it now, but MANDEM are right back into it. They know that with these players down, Hans, he picks up Ryan as well. I mean, yeah, there's an Uber, but it's just Flick on it, and they'll find just Fancy before having to book it. Hans actually goes down into Chaos as well, but again, that shouldn't have been so bad for TLR. They shouldn't have made that as complicated. I think if they just used in, they pick some frags, and then they go for forward hold, that would have been a safer option. But now, MANDEM, they have a pretty big advantage to work with, and they haven't lost much time off the clock either for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's sitting at 90% with Piggles, the Uber Charge ready to be used pretty quick, and yeah, they're still only 20 seconds behind the clock to see how they decide to go over it. It seems like the Boulder Solar Uber has been the name of the game so far, and it might be something similar again. Just going to try and press the point, see what they can do before bursting across, see if they can burst, see if they can bait any of those TLR members further forward. Can actually cap the point out, TLR allowing it to happen, knowing the dangers of overstepping too far. And there's the Uber Charge potentially charging at them straight away from the other side.
Matt is dead again. Hans, he does get traded for it, but TLR, it doesn't look like they want to sack too much. They don't want to go for forces. They'd rather let them cap and go for the trade afterwards. As June will have to use her own. There is going to be another trade on the point. Lardox again trying to go behind. He will get caught this time, so there'll be no collapse play from him. But TLR, they look to maintain control of this point for the time being. MANDEM, Nikki in the house. Oh my god, he's actually going to kill Pandemic. Sit down, son.
Ryan comes in and gets
actually both go down.
Right? Yeah, Ryan comes in with a great salvage there, Flick helping out as well with some chip shots, and yeah, like, it's all well and good, wins that 1v1, but when you lose 2 players for it, maybe not great after all, and quietly, TLR have ticked their clock down into the final 10 seconds, so once again, looking good for the red side, see if they can hang on like they did last time, and Boulder going down the pocket scout. Usually when you're not pushing the point, you don't want to lose your pocket scout when you're pushing him back into overtime once more, and everyone's going to have to trust themselves towards what Matt is getting onto Piggles as well. Fancy's going to go down, and as you say, it is going to be over. 2-1.
It's the second round for TLR. Oh my god. There's no time for Baldur to do anything. Him going down, he just caught a pipe over the point. Zams, oh my god, that's gonna be so annoying for him. He was such a vital player, right? For all these little fast happenings when they take the trades, they go behind. He looked like he was pressuring really well, and him going down there at the end, that really made things spiral out of control for MANDEM. Is now backs against the wall. No more room for errors. You've got to win 2 rounds back to back after you've just lost 2 back to back. As TLR, the 1 away from forcing a second map.
Yeah, and this time it's a bit of a turn of pace. Double Soldier Sack coming in.
Oh my
Ryan
god.
all the way over the top, getting onto Piggles, getting onto Fancy as well.
That was
Huge,
so
and
crazy.
Mathis gets out as well. Lardox and Pro bombing in themselves, trying to get what they can. Only going to get onto Flick, and this is great for TLR. Bursting back out as well, getting onto Haunts, and what a turn of pace this is. Like you say, it's a new look for TLR on this mid fight, sending the soldiers in instantly and getting everything that they could have dreamed of.
Yeah, we'll have to concede the cap as Haunts spawn does actually get delayed a little bit, but yeah, like you say, I mean, before they kind of waited for the point to become playable. It was a spam battle for most of it, but again, there's 2 plays down on MANDEM. TLR, they have a big advantage and they have the point comfortably. They're going to be looking to shave off as much time as possible, but yeah, as soon as the mid fight really started, TLR just went balls to the wall, super aggressive. They didn't wait for anything to become playable, and it's going to pay off massively. They're in a great position right now to get some real time off the clock as MANDEM. They've telegraphed very precisely where they're going to be looking to bust out. If Ryan keeps holding the door, he's going to be actually shooting the wall and has to jump back. As MANDEM, they will be allowed to bust out of the forward, but they lose Lardox in the process.
Yeah, Lardox does so much damage before going down there. Just about 300 damage spread between those 2 flank players holding that left-hand house, and yeah, it's maybe not worth it for the kill, but it's enough to break the forward, hold, force everyone back, get that healing up. Pandemic body blocking. Piggles running in as June forces very, very late. Fancy's weak as well in the back lines, and Rage comes out across the point, but it's going to be about a minute that TLR have got on the clock for this, and might be holding on for even longer as well as Flick, Pandemic all fighting around at the moment. Pandemic
Oh,
will
they
win the
have to
fight out
just
in the
leave.
house.
What is Flick doing? Why is he running in the house? Run out with your medic, for God's sake. You just fed. I mean, TLR, they really... As soon as Zams just dies there because he got dropped from the Uber, it's a really difficult position to be on this map. If you don't have stickies, it's incredibly difficult. And TLR, they have to bust out of his forwards again with the full Uber. Actually, no, it's just going to be right around even for either side. As they're looking to go slowly to the point, they are looking to get some cap time on it, but MANDEM, they will be fighting it. Lardox far forward in one of the houses right now. Haunts does go down in the process, as there's so much cap time actually for TLR, but no one to trade just yet. Oh, they're both just trading spam back and
so
forth.
much spam. Francis even so much, has to back up all the way. That might just cause the point to flip, and it does. TLR take it out of the base. The fans ate so many rockets and so many chip shots, had to run back and take an arrow from Piggles. So that's sort of the fine margins that these things work by. Nilo can't spam, it's all important. Boulder now charging across, taking the trade into the TLR combo. June going to use later once again. Boulder taking these trades so aggressively, and it's had good impact with them so far, but this time Lardox is the only casualty, and that's on MANDEM's side.
Yeah, that's going to be annoying because Nicky's now actually not going to be able to really contest that house much as TLR. Oh, Zams just spams a pipe over the roof. And it's actually going to hit Piggles right on the head. See that aggression houses? They all looked at him. Both of the scouts and MANDEM. Oh my god. They're actually just going to be going for the full salvage. They do all go down mostly. Balder actually going to be picking up 2 in the backlines. That's Zams and Flick going down. He will find a pack as well. I was just going to say that MANDEM, they found what they wanted, right? They got June, but Balder could be making us a lot juicier as he's still in the backlines, finding 2 TLR players finally put down. But he has done a lot of damage there in the backlines, but his death being so late, it actually puts TLR in a better position as they still have control of the point.
Yeah, absolutely, because now I guess the cap doesn't deny the spawn from Boulder. It's wasn't that long of a spawn, you don't have the point, but yeah, it's at least forced TLR back, made them be careful in lobby, 10 players back, and they couldn't get any aggressive position. But very nice sack wave coming in from MANDEM, getting that Uber charge off of June after that unfortunate mishap with the pipe landing in Piggles' face. As yeah, MANDEM now again at the wrong end of things in terms of the time, and losing Boulder as well.
Haunts as well, there's only 25 seconds. Lardox is dead as well. Piggles needs to live if he picks up the frag.
Shot.
He's gonna let him go. He's gonna let him go. They'll opt for the safer play of going for the frags. I honestly would have said, if you pick up that frag on the medic, that's the game over right there.
There's 10 seconds anyway.
I think they'll have time for this. There's a bit of cap on the clock. Oh my god! No, they won't even reach it. They won't get out of it. Piggles has let everyone die. That is map 1 over. TLR 3-1 right there. Oh, MANDEM, so unfortunate at the end. They couldn't even get out of the force. They had to just book it, and Piggles will actually drop his whole combo in the process. I don't know if they would have had time to make it to the point. Maybe someone jumped to it, but that immediately went south.
They got blocked on like the grass side though, right? Like they were trying to jump through, and I think someone jumped literally into Ryan's face and got blocked on the bomb. and just couldn't like speed shot through. And then yeah, obviously Pickles last one running through Uber charge is like yeah, Medic versus the world is not going to go all too well by Uber
No.
charge. But yeah, what a turnaround! So MANDEM take the first round, and then TLR like you know what? That's it. We're gonna we're gonna turn on the afterburners and yeah, storm through. Yeah, what a performance! I gotta say that. Like, how does this play on the minds of MANDEM? Right, like after obviously we know what happened last season. Is
Oh
this in their
God.
minds? Is this in their minds?
I like to think not as much, because you grow with the experience, but at the same time, this is where it gets really, really uncomfortable for them. We're going to be going to Metalworks next. That is our map too. And if you paid attention at the beginning, that is the map that Mendham lost to TLR in the regular season. That was Metalworks and Sultry. And while that Metalworks was very competitive, we'll have to see if Mendham did their homework and try to figure out what exactly went wrong in that. I believe it was week 3 or 4 official, but definitely not. That's not a position you want to be in, right? You don't want your elimination game to be on a map that you've already lost to the same team. So,
Yeah,
it looked so good for Mandem at the start as well, right? The soldier aggression was working out really well, but at the end, it looked like the flank was really just getting shut down. I kept looking at the kill feed. There was Nicky and Hans going down a lot. The trades were really, they weren't great for TLR either, right? I mean, it's not like they went in with the trades and got like 2 or 3 kills, but they were all right enough that in the post fight, TLR just looked to come out on top a lot more.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, there was a couple of times, like you say, if the flank getting caught, there was obviously just random pipes going over, people just catching too much spam, and yeah, just people being caught out. And yeah, like as we say, like obviously the aggression when it was there from Mandem, like when they were sending their sacks in, when they were sack waving, when they were trying to get people behind, that was all working out fantastically. However, like their general just minute to minute gameplay just wasn't up to it. And yeah, TLR just it's like yeah, you can go for the big plays now, but like when the clock ticks down, like your plays can only matter for something, right? Like you've got to eventually
Yeah.
get that timer to be on your side.
We will have some numbers on the screen right now as, oh man, I mean, Zams had a great game right there. Pandemic as well, some very high damage. Zams actually took a lot of damage as well. I mean, he nearly took 8,500 damage there. But really, looking at the frags, you hate to highlight it, right? But Hans actually with a great performance. He actually was out fragging his own scouts on that server and actually out damaging most of the scouts on the server. Actually, Nikki and Flick and Ryan, he's going to be outperforming all of them, top fragging for his team. But I mean, honestly, Nikki with going 8 and 14, Fancy only picking up 6 frags in there as well. The medic deaths didn't really seem to sting too much. I don't remember a medic death in there that was really super painful that wasn't salvaged. But yeah, I mean, just looking at the numbers, the kills are going the way of TLR. The scouts actually outperforming those of Mandem quite comfortably.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, another thing to point out is the soldier deaths as well. Lardox and Haunts both getting both because they were playing so aggressively. Of course, they were bombing in frequently, and I guess that just kind of happen when you're down on the clock and when you're having to salvage, you have to go in more. But Mathis and Ryan just played, from what I can see, just played a lot more passive, just spammy, just yeah, locked down and yeah, locked up the flank and just spammed across point and played more chill. Obviously, apart from that final mid when they were flinging themselves about the place, but yeah, TLR going to take map number 1 as we'll start turning our eyes over towards Metalworks, which again, I obviously we don't have the full info on who's picked what in like the pick ban, but like I'd assume this is TLR's pick, given that they won it previously, like you just said.
I mean, I would if it wasn't right. We're looking at a masterclass counter pick where, man, and they've just brained them into it. They've actually completely analyzed the game. They've countered everything that TLR has done, and we're gonna look at a 5-0 right here. But yeah, we're probably actually just gonna be looking at a TLR picking this map. I mean, last time, it was a pretty slow game. From what I saw, I believe the highest DPM was like 230 or something in that game. So it was a very, very slow game. There was a lot of last holding. It was a very back and forth game. It didn't look like either team was really super dominant on it. So it could have gone either way, but TLR coming out on top of that was, I mean, surely it's got to be a comforting factor here for TLR. They've done the hard bit. I would say they've kind of looked pretty comfortable on Bagel, where I would have favored Mandem, but now we're heading into map 2, And all of a sudden, we're looking at uncharted territory for MANDEM as a one map away from elimination here. Once again in third place for a team that has come in first seed into the playoffs twice.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got to say, from MANDEM, there's at least in my end, I've not got a great amount of information to go off. They've only played this map once this season, and it was in that loss to TLR. They've not played anyone else on it. There's not been a map that they've been getting, whether it's because they've been having it banned against them, or if they've just not been wanting to pick it in these weeks when it's been in the pool. But yeah, it's really, this is, I guess it's not do or die. There's always the chance tomorrow in the lower bracket to come through against the Germans, but obviously it's dangerous, right? You want to take the chances when they're there. You don't want to risk the lower bracket gauntlet. And yeah, a win here guarantees top two. It guarantees at least a silver medal in this season.
Yeah, we could. I did actually get them mixed up. This is not elimination. This is just the upper bracket final. This is for booking spot into the playoffs. So apologies on that, but still for MANDEM, not a position you want to be in, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely not. But yeah, I guess onto the normality. Obviously, completely different game mode, plays rather differently. So have to see if it's going to be big for them. I guess over on MANDEM's side, given like how obviously the first map went, is there anyone that you're wanting to sort of see a change up, see someone step up on their side?
I'd say Nikki. You know, just look at the numbers from the last game. Maybe he'll get a redemption arc this time. Not going to be caught as much on the flank as map 2 will be going live. Is MANDEM going to be knocked into the lower bracket to face the Germans, or will they force a map 3? Here we go. This is the first mid.
Yeah, see what these two are cooking. Is there going to be any sort of funny speed shot bomb? Is there going to be any sort of double high sex? Looks like, yeah, Horn's going in for the speed shot, landing one rocket onto Zams, but not to land the second one. He's going to be taken down. Zams goes down regardless, though, off the back of that damage. Fancy is so weak down in the valley, and it's 2-for-2 Soldier and Demo down for either side as and Scout's down. These two are playing in perfect synchronization so far.
It's actually insane that Pickles lived for all that. I was super sure he was going to die to one of those soldier bombs. A soldier bomb, then he was at like 50 health, but yeah, like you said, we're just going to be looking at some advanced ulti duo here as either team has an extra scout to accommodate them. Looks like TLR will pick up the first cap, though, and that's going to be big, even if Pandemic goes down. That'll be spawners getting forwards right there, but TLR, they will back off after Pandemic does go down, so MANDEM looking to recapture immediately.
Yeah, it's a nice play there, just taking that high ground up on Lardox, able to spam down on the point. Yep, if you're on the point, it's great because you get the point, but it's also not great because you can get spammed out from the high ground. And yeah, it's a trade that TLR are willing to make. And but on the back end of it, losing Pandemic at the end of that means they're going to have to back up all the way into second. Lardox giving the first to fake a second. Horn's going to be going for the real one, landing in behind, getting one rocket into June, but gets dealt with by Flake. Very nice play there.
That was such a nice try from Hanzo, really. Usually soldiers don't really make it in that far with those types of bombs, but Lardox doing a great job faking as a scout, looking the wrong way at the wrong time, and if he would have just been alive for a little bit longer, got a second rocket off, we could have looked at a force, but June will be holding on to that. So MANDEM again, we're just going to be waiting for Hans to come back up, and then we'll see what they'll try this time.
Yeah, it's obviously plenty of things you can try into Metalwork second. We'll see obviously the fake soldier sack and then the real one out from Ali is just one of them. But obviously there's plenty of other options for them. It seems like. Ali
yeah, we did see in the lower bracket final, we did see a lot of sniping on the side of full fence and the Germans actually on this map. In this exact stalemate, so it'll be interesting if maybe either team goes to that, but no, it looks like just more soldier sex. Lardox so weak, but he's actually still going to be alive. He does pick up that pack, and he's allowed to just leave, actually. I would have thought he's dead for sure, but it'll just be a trade of soldiers for now, as MANDEM, they probably want to keep pressuring with this. I mean, Ryan being down, it gives him more space to work, if that's going to be Lardox going quite high, creating some great space, but catching a pipe. But he actually gets arrowed as well. He's just dancing with death right now, going from 10 to 100 health at the hands of his medic. Well, at MANDEM, it's going to be 2 out for them for now as they do back off for the time being, recollect themselves. As I say that, there's the bomb to Hans. Ooh, he does go down to the pistol from Baldur on long range. Lardox looking to follow up on him maybe, but again he survives. It's so crazy to me.
Miracle. Like, how is he managing to live all of these bombs? He's attracting so much attention but not paying the price for it. Staying alive once more, and yet allowing that kill on Zams to come through, and on Ryan, winning second point. He's going to be capped up. Zam's going to be spawning in time for last, but yeah, that player's won them another point.
Yeah, no stickies up means there's really a lot of space that they can go for on these doors. I mean, they don't have to really respect it, as Pandemic will go down. It's a trade. That's good enough for them. But oh, Nikki, too aggressive there. Will go down to Zems. But again, you see like these little picks, how much impact they can have. I mean, it's a demo down on last. Yeah, he's up, but there's no stickies on these doors, so we can pressure. We can send sacks. We can try to make something happen. But unfortunately, it does get shut down. But a good attempt by MANDEM. You know, it's really a sign of a great team that you want to keep using advantages that are given to you. You don't want to just back off and play it safe. You want to, they give you that advantage, you take advantage of it, you use it, you try to make the most out of it, and it's keeping TLR on their toes now, as even now, setting up a last hold of their own. Nikki will be on Sniper.
Yeah, using that opportunity, running in late there, there's already players down, knows it's safe to die and not give up too much. Horns opens the door and is slammed straight in the face by a sticky trap of Zams, so that might slow things down a little bit more. As yeah, it's always the logic, give the highest health class the job of standing in the line of fire on the doorway, but yeah, 300 health still isn't going to help you against a big sticky trap.
Yeah, we're probably just going to be looking at TLR, maybe looking to just time this out. It's too early to tell, but this is one of those maps that you can definitely go for that. It wouldn't be too disruptive, but does depend what kind of picks they're given and how much of a risk they want to take. With no points right now for either team and only 5 minutes in, no one really has to do much of anything. Pandemic, he's just going to be crouched behind me, but it looks like Nikki has every idea that he's there. He's probably been called. The shot will give his position away, and Nikki will pick Pandemic up. That's some great reading from him. They knew exactly where to look, found the timing. And as I say, that the sentry gun actually picks up a 2k. That's both of our soldiers trying to sack, and they'll both go down. But again, yeah, TLR, they're not looking to do too much of that, right? They're not even taking space in lobby right now. They're just holding this last.
Yeah, still got an engineer, of course, and the spawners really aren't that far away on metal quick spawners, especially when you're holding your team's last. And yeah, there's a sniper to peek into as well. Like, it's not a risk they're willing to take. They're in no rush. It's obviously the game's only just started. Plenty of time left. They're, like you say, they're probably just happy to chill. It's such a hard last to deal with, right? When there's this sentry gun where Flick's gun is, and I guess one thing I'm just going to notice quickly is that gun got 2 kills. So I'm keeping account. That's 4 revenge crits on that Frontier Justice. So I am really, really hoping we see some funny action with the crits on the shotgun. Because it's always rather
would be very funny. But it looks like for now he just has to kind of keep it up, and Nikki is going to be looking to maybe find a sideline here somewhere. He has to find an opening, but just get the body shot onto Ryan. As they're kind of just in a stare of Hans actually going to be going in. How is he still alive? Actually, will finally go down. Oh, it does come to force June. That was the second soldier right there, and with spam. That completely escaped my vision there, as he actually dropped June down to 19 points of health, and now now they have to just stay on last.
Yeah, dispenser armor not quite strong enough for June. What a huge play. The double bomb coming in. I'm as shocked as you are. How on earth did those soldiers both stay alive for so long? I guess if they're in the skybox, they're so far away. What can you do to them? Unless Pandemic's going to hit like the headshot of his life up onto one of these flying soldiers, like there's not much that can be done. Gun now moved underneath the stairs. Dispenser put in I suppose like a barrier kind of position, might catch someone off, might stall out.
Look how well June is building. This ad is actually only 20% now. If TLR plays their cards right, they could get to either of their own. There is a decent amount of cap time. That gun is finally going down. Here comes the revenge crit, but there's no one there to block. And even though the frags went the way of TLR, I mean, they actually got 2 frags amidst all of that. Bald and Lardox are dead, but no one took to block the cap. Ryan jumped on it, he got juggled away.
Yeah, June on 93%, just a mere few seconds away from getting her own Uber up. The counter the point, I'm assuming that's what TLR were gambling on. They'd not gone for like the heavy or anything. They were just thinking, you know what, we'll just build super hard and hope they have in time before the sacks, before the Uber push comes in. But MANDEM starting the second game as they needed to, got 1 map down, so starting this a round up they're very, very happy with. And if we're going to have anything like the previous mid, Math is going in not with the same impact as previous. Ryan coming in as well, potentially going to get caught the health back.
They're going in 1 by 1.
Yeah, absolutely, getting caught out completely. Flick going to try with his fighting against Nikki, who gets to be on 27 HP, but yeah, has to run all the way back out. Flick's in a very awkward spot here out in the alley, going to be splashed down, and Zams and June back to last. We're back to a familiar scenario, but the score is just 1 round higher for MANDEM.
Yeah, I don't like that mid at all from TLR. Matt has jumped all the way behind, trying to get onto June, trying to get on Piggles, landed on low ground, immediately died. Ryan came in 3 seconds later, and then 3 seconds after that, Pandemic came in. Is now we're not slowing down at all actually this time around. Lardox is immediately in with Hans. They're doing a lot of damage. Zams will go down. Baldur does go down to the hands of Pandemic Sniper, so you will keep it in check as the sack does come in with Hans.
Hans is in spawn.
The cap time. Oh my god. People were all just looking at left side during that. Ooh,
yeah, I guess it is a good distraction when you have like a soldier literally with the spawn door open spamming into your spawn.
But that cap time is actually pretty valuable now. I mean, TLR, they're not even going to push out. They see that spawners are up. They're going to stay on last, so they need to get a gun up immediately. This could get really sticky. MANDEM keep up that amount of pressure onto TLR, and they let their guard down like that again and let them get on the point. I mean, look at the cap time. It could get dangerous here, but with no sniper, maybe MANDEM are looking to do just that. Hans checking for the sticks on the wrong angle. He will go down, and that probably flushes that plan straight down the toilet, as we're probably just going to be looking at another stalemate.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just interested to see if, yeah, it doesn't look like Nicky's going to run back and try and stop up at the sniper, because we saw that have, I guess, some limit. Oh, never mind. Casas goes. Nicky turns around and runs towards spawn. So there we go. Just waiting those few extra seconds. Maybe it took a bit of time of deliberation. As yeah, back on the sniper again. We still have some limited success. Obviously, didn't have the big flashy play. It's kind of hard when the medic's so close and the dispenser so close to the wall. You have to peek so deep to get onto him. So
honestly, at this point, why not go man-treads?
Oh, absolutely! I love man-treads on this map. Like you can just jump over the wall, right, and the gun.
Yeah, this is one of like the 2 or 3 maps where it's like it's very useful. Like Snakewater is one of them as well, and I think on Granary as well, it's very good to use. But on this map too, you can do that high bomb. The gun pretty much can't do much about you. Even if the sniper hits a body shot, it's not going to stall your momentum too much. I would actually be a fan of that, but they're not going to be looking to opt for that just yet. Nicky, still on the sniper, will be dropped quite low by Ryan there, but just looking for a sideline here, looking to pressure aside, open up a pick, get someone out of position to feed to the sniper, but Nicky not going to be having much luck just yet. He's still just looking for any kind of pick that he can get. Ooh, that door is not sticky by Zams. They're going to have to pressure it. He deads his sticks, actually. That'll be a signal maybe for MANDEM to get a bit more aggressive, but still just looking for anything here, any kind of pick that they can get. I'm pretty sure as soon as they find anyone caught off guard, oh, it could be Hans that's caught off guard, well, it will be, but there comes the trade. The question is that good enough for MANDEM? Ooh, it looks like they do want to pressure. Nicky looked like he wanted to run away, but then his team just went, nope, we're going to take this. Looking to make the best out of it.
Lardox in very, very high, getting shot by the gun, juggled into space, bouncing up and down, and yeah, not going to get anything as the gun gets one more frag. Yeah, I think the target there, I assume, was to get onto Ryan, who was like standing on the shack outside lockers.
Yeah.
Trying to get on that was where Horns pushed in, but Ryan just drops off and kills Horns, so it's kind of, yeah, at best you're getting a 1-for-1, and they do get the 1-for-1 and use the opportunity to send in Lardox, but nope.
I think what they were trying to do was kind of juggle him down from the HUD to get Nicky a sideline on him so they can bust open that right side and give the sniper more space. That would be a great play to go for, but it's not going to work out quite yet. But I don't think TLR will realize if that's what they were going for. Maybe Ryan just thinks he got a 1v1 or 1v2'd, and if he gets caught, that's really the key for MANDEM to get more going on this last. Hans, again, trying to pressure that right side. Will go down yet again, but I mean, realistically, for the next minute and a half, there's nothing really that TLR could use to push out, so MANDEM are running out of tries though. They are down to about 70 seconds as Hans is making his way there. Actually, it looks like Nicky's going to be swapping off, so maybe we are going to be looking at just a trade happening with about 60 seconds on the clock. Hans on heavy.
This is beautiful to see. We like to see it, Lauren. Like you say, 1 minute left on the clock. You can only sack for so long. You're going to run out of time eventually. You may as well just go for a trade. And what better thing to bring into a trade than a 450 health heavy, even with the Delocos bar as well, getting ready to walk in through in the post Uber.
He's not going to get buffed as well, so there's no voice line, so they won't even know that he's going to be coming in. Here comes the trade. Gun, it's not even going to be going down. Oh, this is not what they were hoping for at all.
Maybe not what the heavy was looking for, but
usually when you take trades like that, you want the gun and the force. If you can get both of those things, that is perfect. That is all that you want, but they don't even get the sentry gun down, so TLR, I don't think they're gonna risk pushing out here. They could just be comfortable in their last in their mid fights, and they're gonna be resetting the round and going back to that as Nikki gets caught on the left side on the flank. MANDEM. It doesn't even look like they're gonna just throw their bodies into last. They're still just sitting on second.
Yeah, just all chilling. There's no reason, and yet we're going to be going into our first round reset. Just under half the game gone, and have TLR capped a point yet? Did they ever hold mid? I don't think they have,
I believe
right? They lost
did.
the first mid, right?
I found the first mid they had it for all of 15 seconds, and after
they
that...
did, yes. They had, yes, you're correct, yes.
And I believe they immediately lost the mid, had to leave, and then went back to holding last.
Yeah,
so
they've been on their last for this entire game pretty much so far. So he's going to turn around, right? If they're going to get back into this game, they have to start somewhere, and what better place to start on a new mid fight and a big win for TLR. Obviously, MANDEM going to be trying to repeat last time, getting that big crunching with Ryan driven straight onto Fancy, getting lots of damage with Fancy's able to back out into the house, stay up just about alive. Horns jumping around, going to be taken down. Either Scattergun or Flickers. It's 1-for-1 so far. One soldier down on either side. Sam's going to be getting a nice pipe onto Nikki as well. And Lardox wants to trade that back, tries to get in, but Flick there to deal with it. So Frag's just about going in the favour of TLR. Space still held by MANDEM, but how long can they hold on to it for?
Fancy taking so much damage, though. He just ate so many pipes and projectiles. They have to run. Here comes the Uber though. Oh my god, if they aren't careful, they focus too many bodies on Fancy, and now, do they even get the force out? Pickles, he's gonna be out all the way there. Ooh, Hans does Crater, but Zams will go down as himself, so this is fine as well for MANDEM. That mid looked pretty dicey, I would say, for the side of TLR, but now this is even worse. They might get mid, but again, they're 2 down, they have full disadvantage. Now it's about how difficult can they make it for MANDEM going into mid. Ryan gonna be bombing a bit prematurely. That's all his health gone pretty much, and he won't be able to do anything. He'll actually get chased down as well. And TLR, they won't get anything out of MANDEM on this mid fight.
Yeah, looking pretty poor again. It was good for a moment, but yeah, nobody could chase down. No one could get onto Pickles, or at least onto the scout he was escorting, and yet gonna mean all the way back, and we might be entering familiar territory in a few moments.
And we're back.
Second point being capped up again, and we return the Metalworks last point on the TLR side. And yeah, MANDEM are round up, so they're very, very happy. They're laughing all the way to the bank on this one.
Ooh, and again, I like this momentum. They're going for Misak so quickly before they have the setup, so it won't really pan out this time, but I like that attempt. They don't want to let TLR get comfortable. The gun wasn't set up. They knew that, and they just said, listen, they're not going to push her anyways. It's Pandemic. He actually gets super aggressive. Doesn't hit the shot. Oh, man. That would have been one for the frag movies, but again, either team, they know that they can probably send in one at a time and not get punished for too harshly, but that was 2 down there for TLR, as MANDEM will take the far left side now. Balder actually going to be going down to spam. Ryan gets traded though. Nikki goes down as well. The bomb from Mathis does so much damage. That's going to be Fancy going down too.
Yeah, this is the best chance they've had so far to push out. Only 2 players left alive. Horns and Pickles all the way back out into the house, and yet TLR, for the first time in this game, getting themselves off their own last point onto second. And yeah, it was just that bomb straight in from Mathis, just so much work, right? Gets 1 kill, forces out Fancy into the open, gets completely disconnected from Pickles. Pickles has to retreat, keep that Uber charge up, and run and hightail it all the way back out to mid.
Right now, Ryan might just get overwhelmed here. He does. That is going to be the flank. Soldier going down, but actually he gets traded right back. Fancy's dropped so low, but he will be allowed to survive. MANDEM, they have to leave the mid completely, it seems. There was a little bit of a struggle in the houses right there. It looked like they were looking to focus Ryan there, throwing many bodies at him, but he got support, so that situation ended up working well out for them. So with that pick that they still have on the side of TLR, they're going to be looking to pressure right back into second. They might just send Mattis into going on his own as Ryan is still rolling out. They're pressuring already, so MANDEM are aware of this. They have telegraphed it, but Ryan has only just arrived, so the question is now, how much success can you realistically expect from this play? Look at MANDEM soldiers, they're both in. Zams is so alone!
Massive sink! That's huge! Jumping straight in, Fancy does some of the damage, Lardox finishes it off, and we were saying about what aggression TLR might bring. It's MANDEM the ones bringing the aggression, sending everything in, straight into the alley, nuking in onto Zams and June, and dropping that Uber charge just when we thought things might be looking up for TLR in this round. They are sent back into the Shadow Realm. Everyone's going to be pushed all the way back off mid. Fancy and Boulder charging down onto Ryan with Nikki as well, and June's only just spawned in. They're all the way back. This could be back on their own last if things don't turn around very, very quickly.
Yeah, that play is a great example of just the strengths of MANDEM, right? I mean, they saw that aggression and TLR. They did a bad job. Like, they took Valley so early before Ryan was even there. They telegraphed that super, super heavily. So MANDEM had all the time to react to it properly. They were allowed to send people in from lower. They had the double bomb. Zams was completely left out to dry, and while he was going down, little did he know his medic was getting 2v1, and that's going to be MANDEM taking in the medic as well.
Still doesn't have, they can cap. They can just cap the point. Overcharge isn't there again. They're not quite there. No one's there to block again. They're forced all the way back. It took so long in the retreat, and with the drop, it is almost a complete coast to coast before the overcharge can even come up for TLR. MANDEM like a speeding bullet straight through the heart of TLR. And there we have it, 2 rounds up, and we've seen how slow this game can get when MANDEM are in control. And yeah, the couple of seconds where it looked like TLR had the initiative, it is shut down completely. MANDEM's certainly in the driving seat now with a speed shot on Horn's going to try and catch Zam to keep the momentum up. Not quite going to manage it, but I like the effort.
Yeah, for sure, but both teams kind of taking a respective amount of space. Mattis will be trying to go aggressive a bit. Lodok takes a lot of damage. MANDEM, they're not really able to escape out of his valley area. It'll just be Nikki on his lonesome for now. He will be joined by Lodox in the house, but during all that time, TLR, they have so much control over the house. That's Mattis going in on Pickles, going down. It's all the frags for TLR. And that positioning is going to pay off. June dancing right now on the point, saving her own life. That is going to be just Fancy left alive.
That was close. I think there was one sticky there landed on June's face, but not quite enough. Good effort there. But yep, great turnaround. TLR really need this, and they really need to convert this into a clean round. There's 9 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock. And a quick round now means there's still plenty of time left there. Yeah, not even going to get there in time. And that's what happens when you lose all your players simultaneously so late on the mid. Teams will just react so quickly. And TLR back in the game as quickly as it looked like it was steaming away from them.
Yeah, I mean, completely turned it around. They took so much space on the point at the beginning of that mid that they were able to spam so much onto the side of TLR, onto the side of MANDEM, and they just capitalized off of that damage pretty nicely. MANDEM, they weren't able to establish much of a presence, even with those people going behind. TLR didn't lose their cool, as immediately this time it's Hans onto Zems. Finally, he gets that frag after trying for so long. It's gonna be looking much better now for the side of TLR, though. Actually, it's just back and forth. There's a soldier down and a demo on the side of TLR. It's going to be both soldiers dead for MANDEM, but Matt is just going to be jumping around. They're stuck in Valley again, MANDEM. They're not going to be taking any space right now. It might just look like they're waiting for Fancy to get fully loaded, as he's doing so much damage around the point. Both scouts going to be taking a decent bit there. Boulder dropping quite low. The spawners are not quite bad for either team, but the HP, it's so low for the side of MANDEM. They have to concede.
Yeah, Fancy goes down there to spam, and now actually the force comes through. Great work. I thought it was Nikki there running straight in underneath, able to get that force out onto June. So even when things are going badly for MANDEM, they still get the force. And we've been in this exact situation before on a previous mid, where right at the end of it, June gets forced, Pickle gets out alive, and with Ubercharge intact. This time I think they're going to go all the way back to last. They're going to try and test second possibly. I don't think there's quite the time for it, but yeah, TLR at least going to get the mid, going to get second point as well, but really nice force coming in the salvage as that fight was just falling apart from MANDEM, and now going to be securing their last and maybe thinking about pushing out with still 50% advantage.
Lodox gets caught by a sticky trap right there. I mean, MANDEM, they're now back in that position, right? They don't want to push out of his last again, despite the advantage. MANDEM realize that Lodox going down there's probably a signal to just call it off. And now we're in the reverse position where TLR have got it all left to figure out for the first time, pressuring into this last themselves. And they've made the mistake of taking it slowly. I feel like if this was MANDEM on the other side, they would have went in way faster, but Matt is going to be going in on spawn. But yeah, they've already pretty much set up the gun, maybe not, but all that hang on.
What? They're just straight in. Pickle's using the Ubercharge, but it's just too late. It's all too late, it's all too slow, and yet it was all the distraction, it was all the ruse. The scouts are in, there's about 4 times on the cap for most of that push. And people are going to have to sack themselves in. It was great distraction play, even I was distracted to be quite honest. The cap was through, and honestly, this game has been utter madness. Genuinely, 3 minutes ago, 2-0. They have turned it around instantly.
So much, yeah. I mean, Mattis was actually pretty much keeping everybody in place, and we just ran to the point. That was well done as well by TLR. We realized there's no gun. Well, spawn as the mid-fight now comes into play. Again, TLR, they look like they're in a much better position. Hans is just going to be jumping behind. He will not get anyone chasing him, so TLR, they need to go forward now. They need to make a decision. Do they want to clean up the people behind or go forward? And they're just going to be looking to stay in place, and that might cost June her life, but no!
Great
Just
movement.
with the crate.
That's fantastic movement there from June. I thought she was caught out for sure. Fancy might be
Mattis
getting
on the
caught out
chase.
as well.
Pickles was not out of trouble.
Oh,
Zam's
is
going
this
to be
gonna
picking her up.
This was 2-0 to MANDEM literally like 5 minutes ago. And
Yeah,
now
now look
they
at
are
it.
on,
Now look at
on the
that.
verge of 3-2.
There's no
For
fancy, there's no
TLR.
pickles.
This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. This game is really something else. Charging in yet, as you say, no fancy, no pickles, no sticky traps on the point to deal with Pandemic. They're not even going to have to use maybe.
My
They
God.
cap it under their noses. And that's it, 3-2 in the space of that 3 mid-fights. And TLR are straight back in this game and in the lead with just over 5 minutes left to go. MANDEM were in charge for so much of this game, and it has turned completely on its head. Maybe the MANDEM curse is real in playoffs.
Oh, that was such a bad time to be choking in the salvage plays. They sent in 3 players, but they didn't have proper focus find. They couldn't find June amidst all that chaos, and Pickles was too late to get out of it, got caught by Zamses again, was straight back into yet another mid-fight. It'll be the 7th one of the game actually. Hans just sitting in the house trying to spam a bit, but again, MANDEM, just look at their positioning right now. Hans is going to be coming in so late, he can't even get in the mid, and look, Fancy sticking it off completely. They have control over the entire point, and MANDEM, it doesn't even look like they get a foot in this mid so far, as their frags are all going to be going the way of TLR. It's just going to be Flick going down.
Zams is in, getting big pipes onto Nikki as well, getting out. I thought there was going to be even more there. Pickles taken rather weak. I think Pickles ate a pipe as well, and what a mid-fight again from TLR. They are on a roll. I feel like going 2-0 down just unlocked something inside them, and now their mid-fights have gone absolutely great. Now charging into the alley once more. Ryan in the onto Pickles, getting the force. Very early force out from Pickles, and Uni's out, safe as houses.
Look at Ryan, he's still alive actually. They still have to dedicate players to chase him down. He's still alive, and that all that chaos means that TLR get to take all the space. There's no soldiers up right now. They don't have to wait for anything. They can take this straight into last. They can leave one guy on the cap, and it looks like they're going to be doing just that. As do they want to re-heal? I mean, they've got to take this in somewhat quickly, right? Without these soldiers, the gun is going up right now, but here we go. They're busting through the left side. Fancy gets caught out, the first casualty. Ooh, the soldiers do come in. Pickles does go down as well. That's Nikki dead as well. It's just Mattis falling. The gun goes down too. And that's actually the
What are we witnessing? What are we watching?
Oh my God. This is crazy, MANDEM. I would have never thought they were going to crumble like this. Maybe KN wasn't the problem. They've got to be scratching their heads. This is not what you wanted to happen on the second map. It could be over in just a few minutes here.
Yeah, if anyone just went for like a coffee break like a few minutes ago, the score is not an error. This like TLR have literally scored 4 rounds in this short amount of time. They have just turned it on and just absolutely farming now as they go into this 8th mid-fight. Fancy, Pickles, Nikki all dying instantly.
Oh
They're on tilt. They're flying in. Both soldiers coming in for the salvage onto June. June surfs away to the pack, and June lives. They go all in, and still TLR win it. This could be 5-2. This couldn't even make it to overtime. Fancy calling GG's in the chat. He thinks it's over.
Oh my God, what a mid! Fancy's dead immediately. The soldiers survived for so long and must find so much impact. This is free content right now for the TLR YouTube channel. They're in a prime position to just take this in a 5th round immediately. And MANDEM, they have no choice but to fight this. They can't afford to hold last. There's 2.5 minutes left. They're looking at being knocked into the lower bracket to face the Germans tomorrow if they don't convert 2 rounds within 2 minutes. It could be over right here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Ubercharge advantage has actually stabilised that. They're not going to get second with this ad just yet. Going to try and work their way in. Ryan jumping around. Horns has gone in very, very high and deep, landing on June. 1 rocket in. Force comes out. Sam's going to be saved with the flash. Fancy gets caught though in lobby.
That's not good enough. That's both soldiers behind MANDEM. Soldiers, they've got to be doing a lot of work. Lots go in. They're already going down. Mattis actually will get picked up by Balder, but that's not...
Pickles is 91%, does not have Uber yet, getting caught out late, just about not able to get it down. There's 2 alive. There's 2 of these, the last 2 survivors. Fancy's only just spawned in. Sam's getting caught in lobby as well by Boulder. Oh, this is still utter chaos. I know there's no time left.
Oh, if Fancy's
MANDEM,
careful,
but
if Fancy goes down here, that could be the game. There's so much cap time. The spawners from MANDEM have come in. Both of those soldiers are up, but neither frag happening just yet. Hans is missing right now. Pandemic is juking him beautifully, but it doesn't look like TLR are going to be committing to this push. They realize there's 90 seconds left in this map pen. There's nothing that they can do anymore. This will be no way that they are able to pick up 2 rounds in these remaining 80 seconds. It'll be TLR winning this upper bracket final with both maps going their way. What a turnaround.
yeah, absolutely. Actually, there's still Ubercharge advantage. I think they're just going to try and fly in and finish this here and now as they barge in through this left-hand side. Ubercharge onto Zams and Pandemic going in behind, trying to lock out the spawn. Cap time coming through, getting denied for now, and no one's on the point for a moment. As Piggle's still 10% away from this Uber, still 4 TLR players left alive. The stick is coming across the point. Fancy doing a good job of denying Piggle's finally with Ubercharge, but there's still players to find. Pandemic running, hiding in front of the blue spawn door. Going to try and be a nuisance. They are going to hold on for now unless Sams can pull some heroics, but going to be forced to, and it's not going to change the outcome, and that is TLR going straight through to the grand final, guaranteed at least a silver medal. As you say, MANDEM going all the way down. Ryan going to try and be funny on the back cap, not going to manage it. Yeah,
and it's just a consolation prize for them, right? They avoid the 5-2, but they don't avoid being knocked into the lower bracket, unfortunately. This will be another chance for MANDEM. They are not eliminated yet, as they will have to play for that final spot in the grand finals tomorrow against Werdersliest Isdorf.
Yeah, this has been this game has left me speechless. I don't know. I don't even know what to think. I know I mentioned before about like the MANDEM like potentially having a playoffs curse, but like I didn't think it was actually real. But having watched this series, they go 1-0 up on Bagel, and then it just all falls apart. They lose 3-1. They're 2-0 up, and then I want to know, like, I know when we get the when the logs come up, we'll maybe have a look at like how long it took for those 4 rounds to come through.
I think we just got mid to last at a few times, right?
It was maybe not quite full mid to last all 4 times, but like that was like sub 10 minutes to get 4 rounds easily, maybe like 8 minutes. It was so quick.
Yeah, I mean, look, we have the logs on screen. You can't see it for the people at home right now, but the 4th round, that was TLR's first one. That went 1 minute and 12 seconds. The 5th round, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. The round after that, 1 minute and 16 seconds. And the final round they won, that's 1 minute and 51 seconds. So within the span
that's like 7 minutes, right?
Yeah, literally less than 7 minutes. Probably in the span of less than like a round of Bagel. TLR completely turned this game around. It looked like MANDEM were in control, right? We said when the game was up 2-0 for the majority of that, we said MANDEM, yeah, the mids were kind of looking in their favor. They were kind of, their aggression was working out. The soldiers were salvaging very nicely. Their aggression was working continuously. But then all of a sudden, that's just mid fights, right? The mids do not go MANDEM's way at all. They never get out of Valley. They're never able to even start sending their soldiers in. Hans was stuck in house for a lot of that. Or he went for fast rolls that didn't hit onto June or onto Zams. And the soldiers from TLR found so much more value for bombs. And you do that 4 times in a row, that's 4 rounds right there. And out of all the mids that have happened, MANDEM actually only won a single one. And yeah, you notice it as well. June, even with that drop right there, which was huge by the MANDEM soldiers, it's not even going to change a thing. Even after all that is done and dusted, they're still going to be able to bring it back just off of those mid fights.
Yeah, 1 death on June the whole game, and that was that one drop with the aggression into Valley, but that was the only time that they managed to get onto the TLR medic. What a performance! What a 7 minutes from TLR. Like that's great.
It's an unreal run.
After, because it was so dominant until that point, right? Like as I said, TLR had they held the midpoint for like 15 seconds on like the first round, and after that, they were really getting pushed and they were really getting punished. They were held back to their last. There was good sack attempts coming through from MANDEM. They got 2 rounds up with 17, 18 minutes gone in the game, and then it just crumbles, and it crumbles like nothing I've ever seen before.
Yeah, I mean, it's so unfortunate for them. They've they've got to be disappointed. They were really hoping that this was going to be the season for them, right? They're coming in as first seed yet again, even especially in a season that doesn't have Witness in it, where they looked poised to take it, right? But they're looking at a repeat again. They're looking at the horror scenario of being knocked out in third place again if they cannot take down the Germans tomorrow.
After coming again first place in regular season. And I will say, you mentioned KN, the ex-player from MANDEM who left after last season.
Ooh,
KN is
yes.
playing for the Germans in that lower bracket match, and KN, one of them is going to be going out in third. So that's going to be a really spicy one tomorrow. But yeah, I guess before we finish up, have you got sort of any predictions for how the rest of the bracket's going to go? We know our top three. What order are you thinking they're going to come in?
Oh God, I mean, I'm definitely going to be watching tomorrow for sure. These are going to be some very interesting games, just from the storyline angle alone, right? I mean, KN taking on his former team in a third place decider. It's like straight out of a movie script. But if you went with the rational way of things, I'm going to say that MANDEM is going to beat the Germans tomorrow, and I think they're going to be looking at this demo thoroughly today. I think they have all the tools to make this work. They just have got a few kinks to work out. I think they're still the favorites, in my opinion, to take this season.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree, but I don't know. I thought the Germans played pretty well early today, but I know it's always you got to think that they're going to go through the lower bracket. They've got 2 games to play. TLR are all the way in there, and they're already through to the final. But I don't know. My brain says Mandem will sort it out, and they'll do it. My heart says it's probably TLR, right? Like if they could just turn it on like they did in this game, like who can stop them? But no, I think I'd have to agree. I still think Mandem maybe slight favourites. Like I picked them early on as my favourites for the season, and despite them going low bracket, I still think maybe that's there. But they're just gonna have to, yeah, like you say, get this demo review done. Perhaps review like their pick ban strategy and come back. And if they do face TLR again, come at it from a completely different angle because yeah, today they were beaten up pretty bad for some moments.
Yeah, I mean, you could be predicting any of these three teams to be taking the whole season. I don't think anyone is going to be too mad if you say any out of TLR, Mandem, or Vedas I don't think any team can be counted out. I think tomorrow anything can happen. We could be seeing the most unlikely Premiership champion tomorrow at TF2V. As I'm thinking, do you have anything more to say?
No, not really. I'm just saying it's when was the last time that a team who came through Prem qualifiers came first or second in the division? TLR have
That's
managed
true.
it. Came through. Well, they would have come through Prem qualifiers, I guess. I guess technically they didn't because Witness dropped out the season. But yeah, what a turnaround it's been for them, and well played. And they've earned their rest until 21 tomorrow when they'll be playing the grand final. Before then, like we say, we're going to have the Germans taking on Mandem. I believe 17 Central European time. So do join CFTV for that. We'll be there. We'll be watching, and we're all keen to see who is going to be our ETF2L Autumn 2023 Grand Champions. So see you all there.